Welcome to another episode of Our 2 Cents. This is a program where we share our 2 cents and exchange views on uniquely Singapore money topics. So in this episode, we'll be talking about Hello everybody, I'm the host of the show. My name is Yang Zhi. So today here with me I have 4 individuals who previously had safe mainstream jobs. So they decided to come out of their comfort zone to start their own businesses, right? So Alvin, you want to start introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Alvin. I'm last time I used to work in the Air Force, and after the bond I left and start my own business, Dr. Wealth. So today we're in the topic about passion and money. So I think we have a very good discussion about our personal experiences.
Hi, I'm Hazel. I used to be an ex-auditor, and now I have started the Joyful Investors together with my partner. I hope the discussion will be a great one.
Chris?
Hi, my name is Christopher Ng. I'm currently a trainer with Dr. Wealth's Early Retirement Masterclass. Prior to retiring at the age of 39, I first had 14 years in IT. Then I had 2 disastrous career changes. First to the public sector, and subsequently a disastrous attempt to become a divorce lawyer, which both failed. All right, and I'll be discussing about the difference between passion and choosing something for practicality.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm the co-founder of TJI. So previously I was working in a bank for 7 years, 2 different banks. One is foreign bank, the other one is investment bank. And through the banking world, I get to learn about investing and I get passion in investment.
If today you had to choose between a job that pays you $10,000, right, and increment every year is 20%, but you absolutely don't like the job, you hate the job, right, versus another job that is $3,000 a month, right, and then the increment is only 3%, but you love that job, all else being equal, right, which one will you all choose? Let's go one round. Alvin, what do you think? Which one will you choose?
So for me, I'm a lot more practical, and I think most Singaporeans are like this now. We will go for the one that pays us more money, which I'll go for the $10,000 with the 20% increment. And yes, I may look at it and I hate it, but who knows, maybe if I go and do it, get immersed in the job for a while, I may not hate it that much. But if I really hate it, then I quit and I can go for the $3,000 job, right? So that's my thinking process, but I think some of you may disagree.
Good strategy. So try first.
Yep, you never know, right?
You may like it, right? That's good. Hazel, what about you?
You asked me this question, right, back when I was still studying in uni. I'll tell you, definitely I'll choose the 10,000 one. Because at that time, all I was thinking was just money. Yeah, not about passion at all. But if you ask me this question now, I will choose the 3,000 one. That means the second job. So the reason being is because when we talk about all this passion, but this topic of passion versus money, we cannot run away from the way we are actually being brought up, the kind of mentality and mindset that we are being brought up. So I would say I'm part of the majority whereby my parents will tell me, hey, if you study hard, you study well, you're going to get a good high salary job and you earn a lot of money. And then people will say you're successful in life. That's what people will say. The mindset will change as you go out and experience things yourself.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah. Chris, what about you? Which one will you choose?
Okay, before I begin, let's get the definitions right. All right, let's call the $10,000 job A, and we call the $3,000 job B.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I think a lot of young people, when they analyze their career prospects, there is a lot of emphasis on job A, right? How much money can I make without burning out, right, and destroying myself in the process, right? But I think what's important is the idea of job B, a job that I enjoy, a job that I can sustain over time, right? Now, why is job B important? Job B is important because this is how you should live, right? Job B should define your expenses on a regular basis. So with that in mind, right, then it's very easy to decide what to do next. How long can you hold on to job A without burning out? So take job A first, last as long as you can, save money like a person who's holding on to job B, so that when the music finally stops and you leave job A, you have a nice pot of gold that you can carry on into your next venture.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Chris. How about you, Kathy? Which one will you choose?
Oh,
Job A, job B.
I think if I'm a person who wants to, okay, after I graduate, I want to faster climb up a corporate ladder, then maybe I will go for job A. Because job A gives better pay, why not? Yeah, but if I'm someone who, okay, eventually I think I am going to start a business or pursue something that I like and require certain skills, then maybe I will go for a job, not really on the money aspect already, but on the job whereby it gives me more experience for my future next time, for the future business. Yeah, so let's say if job B, the one with the lower income, enables me to give more experience, and at the same time, the amount that they give is still comfortable for my lifestyle, then I think why not go ahead? Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I think it's a very interesting perspective because what you just shared means that it's not just about money, right? Because in the future, if you're gonna start a business, it's also about your experiences.
So we should look for long term instead of just the short term money gain.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing this insight. Yeah. So when you all first started adulting, right, what was it that you all choose? Do you all choose money or do you all choose passion? Elvin, which one you chose when you first started?
I would say that I was none the wiser. I don't know what I wanted to do, so passion wasn't a major thing for me, right? Then that left with money, right? So it became very easy. And I eventually signed on with the Air Force, stable job, they've lead a comfortable life. It was only later on that I discovered that I have a passion in the financial markets. I love investing. But it was kind of too late because I was bonded, so I couldn't go anywhere.
Wait. So at this point, right, the Air Force, is it money or passion or neither of it?
I would say that
basically I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what's passion. Right? So as I said, when I first signed on, I didn't know. It was only after that I discovered that I had passion in somewhere else, right? But since I'm already committed, I'm bonded, and I have no intention to break the bond. And I just and I also need capital, right, to invest. And this was a good match, I would say. I didn't hate the job. But I wouldn't say that I love it either.
Okay. So now you get to be passionate about money.
You can say so. And you don't need to sacrifice one for the other, right? Sometimes you can have both.
Sounds great. Yeah. How about you, Hazel?
I would say I started adulting with chasing after money. I started without even thinking about like passion. It wasn't part of the consideration. Yeah, in fact, the most recent Marvel movie, the Shang-Chi. The lead actor. Yeah, he also studied accountancy. And he worked in like Deloitte for like around 8 months before he left. And he realized that, so his story is really very similar as well, because everyone around him says that that's the right path, even his parents and all. Yeah, but eventually during that 8 months, that was when he realized that job wasn't fulfilling for him.
He decided to be superhero.
So I think a lot of us experience the same path as well.
I see. So you're saying that at the start you chase money but along the way,
then you realize
passion
that
is more important.
I think you have to find a balance between both, because I cannot say that I just go all out for passion and then I don't need money. I mean, that's not practical as well. I mean, because people around you, they will be telling you that no, this is not the right way. You should be continuing. Even after I quit, I have friends who, from time to time, will send me like job links and tell me, hey, you want to consider or not?
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I told them I'm very serious about doing this. I'm not going back already. So there are people around you who will still hold on to that kind of mindset, that because that's what the crowd and the majority are doing. So they'll think that's the right way.
That's true. So I believe all of you over here, you all have your own businesses successful in your own rights, right? But have you ever thought of, right, your businesses make money, but when is enough? Do you have a number that you're aiming for, like, after this time, then I will just, relax by the beach. I don't want to do anything. I don't do anything with money already, right? Do you have such a thinking?
I think this boils down to the mentality of different individuals. And so for me, when I was younger, it was more of a finite mindset, which is I like shared just now that I want to faster earn
Yeah.
money and faster have savings to be
Correct.
financial stable. But when I grow older, the mindset start to change into a infinite mindset. So it's not just about myself also, but also like what kind of things that I do will actually affect the other people around me. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's this concept is being mentioned by Simon Sinek on his book The Infinite Game. So it's about eventually our action will affect and will benefit the people around us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me as a entrepreneur, as a business owner, okay, initially when I started the business, okay, my thinking is not about okay, this business is going to help me for my retirement, or it's like a retirement plan for myself. But I don't think that way. But at the point where I start a business is okay, how am I going to improve the business? How am I going to get more clients? Things like that. Yeah. So but after that, when the business grow bigger and bigger, you will have more people under you. So they are like your stakeholders. So
Correct,
the clients, the staff, they are all your stakeholders. So you will realize that your company is just not about yourself already, but whatever actions you do is also affecting them. So
I see.
today you cannot say that, oh, I want to stop because I earn enough, I want to close down the business. Then how about the rest of the people that is still under you? Yeah. So
you derive joy not just maybe
Yeah.
the business at the start was for money, but eventually as it
Correct.
grew, then you realize the people, right?
it's more of the
it's
people.
beyond you, lah,
Yeah.
right?
Because this question
Yeah.
is more on implying like more of like we work because of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a date or a number that you
Yeah,
need to achieve.
correct,
But for me, it's not so much already.
And likewise, I have the same experience as KD. As the company grow, we have staff. And then you start to realize that money is important, because if you have money, how are you going to pay them, right? You cannot tell them, hey, don't take pay lah, just work for me.
Live on passion, right?
You can't say that, right?
Yeah.
They need the money.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, okay, so we have some baseline expenses that we need to earn in order to
Yeah.
feed everybody, right?
Yeah.
And the business expenses. And that was where things get more and more serious. Then it becomes like you went into another rat race. you earn a bit more, then then you need more staff to support you, and then after that you need to make more because you have more staff, right? So you kind of repeat the cycle. But then as I look at it as a business, it become more serious. So I was from like I don't know what you call it, passion, lifestyle, entrepreneur, then become a more serious entrepreneur. You learn things lah. Then I started to see running business as a game. And money is important, not just about business expenses and things like that, but it's a scoreboard. And if you treat this more like a process. As long as you enjoy this as a game, as a process, then I think it's fine.
I see. So you're saying there's no end point, lah, basically.
There isn't an end point, so you will keep pushing and see where it
Understand.
goes.
Yeah, become who you are already, right? Yeah. Chris, eh?
So when it comes to having enough, I had enough maybe at the age of 39, about 8 years ago. So we've attained that level of enough, right? So the question is, what happens next?
Yeah.
Right? How do you tell yourself to continue with your life when you already have enough, right? And I think the answer is as follows, right? What you derive from your business is how society values your contribution, right?
Yeah.
So it is not so important to actually take the money to spend it, which my partners know I don't spend it. All right, it moves into the portfolio, but we're always trying to find a way to get more revenue, because that ultimately is a measure of how much value and goodwill that you're giving to society, right? Your knowledge has value, so people are willing to pay for it.
I see.
Yeah, so like all the other speakers here, there is no notion of enough, because it's always a game and it's always trying to get a high score. Yeah,
I see.
like Street Fighter. Yeah.
So basically, it's always a race against
Yeah.
yourself, lah, right?
Because I think that
Yeah.
every person needs a direction, a goal, right? Without a goal, you'll be very aimless. And yes, you can set a goal, you reach it, you will ultimately
Push
set
it
another.
forward.
Yeah,
and
That's
other new
true.
goal.
It happens to me a lot. You keep shifting the goalpost, right? Then you're thinking, hey, when do you actually stop, right? You cannot stop, because keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I think you all have shared that you all have your fair share of experience adulting, right? Which resulted in, finding your passions in different ways, right? But there are a lot of viewers out there who are young adults that don't know anything, they just started their journey, right? So based on this 2019 survey by salary.sg, right? The degrees that pay the most are medicine, computing, and law. Okay? So in terms of employability, the music, industrial design, and art and media was ranked the bottom. So medicine, law, everything was top, right? Design and art was bottom, right? So do you think that it is true, right, in Singapore, passion cannot pay your bills, right? That we should all strive to get a professional job, right? Become a lawyer or doctor. No? Do you think that's what young people should, try first?
I think you should start with Chris.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time compiling these statistics on my blog. I think the important thing is when you are passionate about something, right? You're not really passionate about a profession.
Okay.
You're passionate about maybe a field, right? My daughter is passionate about art. We spend a lot of money on art classes. My daughter invests a lot on piano classes.
Yeah.
And she's also proficient in the ukulele at the same time.
Yeah.
Does it mean that my daughter should go and get a music degree that would then pay her below the median income, right? And then have an employment rate below 16% 6 months after graduation? I think the answer is no. We are not limited to that. If you have an artistic talent or an inclination, it can be directed towards something that does pay the bills. Now, I do not know what's going to pay the bill in 20 years' time, but I think right now we can safely say that industrial design is slightly better than music in that regard. Architecture is way better. Architecture, it's easier to get jobs, right? That being said, you can also become a UX designer, which would definitely be considered a highly employable skill. I think young people shouldn't ignore their passion, but they should also understand that society has its series of rules regarding what skills to accept and what skills to pay. Why not find something that still falls within your zone of competency, right? And should not be narrow-minded about the whole thing. I think that is the entire thing about the artistic process as well. If you are an artist, you should be open-minded to new experiences, right? Which also means that you should be able to reinvent yourself and adapt to whatever the industry throws at you over time.
Okay. Yeah, but you see, the thing about this is that a lot of young adults, they probably haven't fully figured out what's their passion, right? So would you think that, let's say going to uni, right?
Right.
Would you think that they should take something that is related to what their hobby is? I think at this point in time, it's probably more of a hobby than a real passion, right?
Actually, there is a very... You might not like the answer. The answer is quite cliche. But I was on a panel with a very distinguished law professor, and he said that a lot of students who study law do not know what they want to do with their lives. And so much so that when they ask you why you want to study law, and you say that because I don't know what I want to do in my life, that's actually the correct answer.
Yeah.
So
it pays the most, right?
So that is the correct answer, in fact. Yeah. So that's one area. If you do not know what to do, law is one of them. But however, I would say that the same argument cannot be applied to medicine. Yeah. You can't apply to medicine if you have no passion because of the hours, the amount of blood you're gonna deal with, and the fact that you can kill someone if you're not careful, right? Yeah. So in this case, I wouldn't apply that same mindset towards engineering and medicine. You really need to be really interested in what you're doing. Yeah. But I think law makes sense. I would argue, but if she corrects me, I think economics is also a very good degree.
Yeah.
If you do not know what you want to do with your life, because it's a very generalized set of mental models.
Yeah.
That can be used in any life situation that I found to be extremely profitable throughout my life. So there you go.
I was actually
law and economics.
I would actually disagree with Chris about engineering.
Is it? Because it's like
Engineering.
Both of us are
engineering. And I don't know what I want to do with my life.
So a lot of young adults don't know, right?
So actually, I think in fact, I met more people doing a degree that's very different from their career of choice.
Yeah,
more
that is true.
common, right?
That is
so
true.
I think it goes back to that very first question we were tackling. That, we don't know what we want in life when we were very young.
Yes.
You need
I
some
think
life
it's
experience to test it out. Oh, this is what I incline towards. This is not what I want.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of this kind of self-discovery. So I would say that to answer this question, my advice to a young person, right, would be you won't know exactly, right? You might make a wrong choice, but you have to make a choice today. Okay? And you just see, maybe you just ring fence to 3, and then from that 3 you choose 1, and then you just go and try it. Eventually
Yeah.
you'll find your way.
Wow, that's a very deep answer. Basically, you are saying don't be afraid to make the mistake, right?
Yeah.
You can
Just take that step,
You
right?
can spend 10 years and sitting there and think about what should you do in your life,
Yeah.
and not try anything, right? It's
Yeah.
not going to go get you anywhere.
Yeah, you have no answer
Yeah.
if you don't try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? So,
Actually, I think, because to your first part of the question is whether or not actually passion can pay for abuse. Actually, I think it is possible because
passion
I
can pay for abuse.
Yeah,
In
because-
Singapore, no? In Singapore.
Yes,
Yeah,
in Singapore,
okay.
because I mean I cannot say for all passion lah, but
Yeah.
there are people who are able to do that. Like I went to like music schools before and I've seen how those teachers, they are very passionate about music, about I don't know, teaching an instrument or teaching how to sing. And so yeah, so they earn money through being a teacher there, or they also have like private students,
Yeah.
or being a resident singer at like bars and restaurants.
Do you think like in this era, right, the opportunity to pursue passion becomes a lot less, especially maybe in Singapore? Do you think there are less opportunities as compared to maybe last time, when there's no Disney? Now there's Disney already, right? Then there are a lot of like, a lot of things are already there, right? So do you think like, especially because we're in Singapore, right, that it's actually harder now to chase passion?
Actually, I think Singapore is still a small country. There's a lot of,
Yeah.
because initially when Singapore was developing, we focus on like maths and science.
Yeah.
So it's more on that aspect. But actually, Singapore is now going towards the art side. I feel that if you have a passion and if you you have a skill set, you have a like gifted skill set for a certain area, I think you should go into that area because you already have the comparative advantage over other people. So the chances of you doing better than other people is higher. But let's say if you have a certain skill set and passion on one area, but your parents feel that, okay, no, you should go into the path that people normally go to because the pay is better, higher starting pay, then but you really don't like it and you have no passion, you have no skill, then what is the point?
There's no meaning.
No meaning.
You start
Yeah.
to hate a job.
I will add that it has become easier. That's my view for people to pursue passion because of
it's easier now.
the creator economy. There's a lot of
that's true.
platforms. In the past, you can only like maybe promote it to a very small crowd around
Yeah.
you in Singapore. It's a very small population. But
Yeah.
now with a lot of all these internet platforms,
That's
if you have the right combination of talent and some luck, you can actually capture a much larger audience that can translate to a windfall in terms of money, right? Not just pursuing your passion. But that said, I think that those extreme successes are very few cases. Majority, if you want to go into this creator economy, I think majority won't be able to make enough to even feed themselves, right? As opposed to getting a job, your chances of getting a reasonable pay that can feed yourself is much higher than if you pursue your passion. So I do think that is still a difference, but it's easier.
But if you have like the skill set and you are really gifted in that area and you become like you work very hard and become like the outlier in that industry, maybe you can earn even better than those people like.
So it's not
law
where
and
you
the
start,
medicine.
right? It's like you need to believe in your vision and persist, right? If you
Believe
really want to
and
chase.
work hard towards it.
And
Yeah.
even dare to step up because most of us are just too constrained within the right way to do.
But that's the scary thing, right? Because the whole world will be telling you need to get a degree, and suddenly you're not. Right?
Otherwise, how to be Shang-Chi?
No, but even he got a degree.
Yeah, in accounting, right? Which he hates.
he needs to take that step to know that
Yeah.
you don't like it,
But you see, right,
Yeah.
what we're talking so far are usually people who have worked in something they don't like, then they move to something that
Yeah, correct.
But I have also met people who have started with a passion, then went to do something they don't like because they realized that after a while the money was not enough. So I think that is also a possible avenue. So it's still back to that self-discovery process.
I really like Alvin's point. We don't celebrate these people. I think that's a problem with society. We celebrate people who find their passion after
And
doing
make it,
something they
right?
don't like. And then they become heroes. Simu Liu is one of them. But we do not celebrate the people who try to do their passion, they mess up and they say, no, I want to go back to do something that pays the bills. There is no book written about them, but
it's true.
they are
Maybe you should
all
write
around us. Yeah, and we need to hear from them, the thought processes that they go through when they go through life. I think
In
that's
the
important.
future, we would invite these people. Let's hunt for these people, okay? Then we invite them to the show.
Yeah, it's something to be proud of.
Yeah, it is true,
personally.
it is true.
So you'll give totally different career advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So today, right, if this young adult that you're advising, right, so he says that he want to chase his passion. So he go all out to chase his passion, right? But he has no means to make money at the start, right? So there are two questions over here. The first one is it selfish for him to live off his parents? You know, so his parents are funding his passion, right? Or his wife or his spouse, right? Firstly, is it selfish? The second question, right, is that if he consistently cannot make money, let's say after 2 years, 3 years, right, cannot make money, right, when should he call it off? When should be the hard stop? Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think that is it selfish or not?
I think the biggest problem is that in the kind of society we live in, right? If you're a guy and you have a passion and you get your spouse to sustain it, not okay. Not okay in society. But somehow, if it's the wife that does it and the guy supports her, it's fine. It's totally okay. In fact, the guy looks really good right, in front of his peers.
In the Asian context, right?
So I somehow think that the answer is gendered somewhat. Yeah, and it's not easy for me to tell my children that the same things that apply to my daughter will not apply to my son.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He can't. He just doesn't have the privilege to sponge off his spouse.
I see. So the son better work hard.
Yeah, he has no
to
choice.
make money,
Yeah,
right?
He has no choice.
So in that case, it's better to be a female than a male lah.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's a generalized question, right? But specifically for this idea, I think society is still not ready.
So what
for
if
the guy
if
to-
your son moved to the West, marry a Caucasian, and
Yeah,
then
rich
he
wife.
lives
Okay.
off the
That-
do you think it's more possible?
that would definitely be a much better idea than doing that in an Asian society, right? Yeah, a lot of things get better in the West, but of course you got to pay the price of being in the West. Yeah. Okay, but to be fair, I basically lived with my parents until my 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's only when my
But you're
my
making your
condo
money,
became
right?
available.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, of course I was a contributor to the household economically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of tell people that I don't think in Singapore there's any stigma living with your parents. If you
Yeah.
contribute to the household, it's actually better.
Right.
And the amount you save from the rents and all that can be used to build quite a sizable portfolio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where the
Yeah.
Eastern culture becomes an advantage, right?
Yeah.
The kids,
Staying with the parents,
Yeah,
right?
because the parents
Yeah.
want the kids to stay together as
Yeah.
long as possible, right? It's not like the West when you're 21, they kick you out of the house.
Yeah, so my European colleagues used to mock me for living with my parents because they don't
okay.
understand Asian culture anyway.
I see.
I always laugh at them. I say, so you pay rent, people pay me rent, you know? Yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah.
I see. But okay lah, but in that sense, you're not really sponging off lah, right?
Yeah, because they are paying.
It's
They're
different.
Okay
contributing.
lah, but the amount that I give to my parents' pocket money every month is not going to be mathematically the same as how much I would pay a landlord if I were to rent the
Yeah.
premises of the same size.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's fair lah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. But basically, you can lend support lah. But basically,
Yeah.
be fair to your parents, whoever is
Yeah.
supporting you financially.
And if you feel bad about it, just support your kids next time lah. If you know, yeah, the same way lah. That's how it goes.
So you're saying next time if your children want to just go basking and then not make money, you support them?
I will do everything in my power to prevent that from.
Prevent them.
Yeah, I will.
Get a degree first.
Yeah, I will be quite hard about this matter lah. But,
Okay.
yeah, but really sometimes if you look at your own kids, you will know, right? 10 years before that happens, you will know whether your child is employable, right? I mean,
I
if you're a
guess.
good parent, you know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so what about you? What do you think?
To me, I think it's very selfish.
It's very selfish,
Yeah. Because I think once you reach adulthood, you
Yeah.
should be able to support yourself financially. I mean, other than, okay, I think living with your parents, that is still okay. But at least, you know, like you are able to pay for all your bills, or if you have like student loans, you are able to pay off. All those you should be able to do it yourself. Because you are an adult already. You are
Yeah.
responsible for your own life.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be your parents still responsible for your expenses. Unless like what they have said, like what Alvin and Kathy had said about, you know, if your parents are really well-to-do
Yeah.
and they are able to support you without being
Yeah.
like significantly worse off themselves, then okay lah. But we also have to face the truth, like how many of us are born in a family like this? Yeah, that's why. So I think the baseline is I still must be able to support myself financially.
Do whatever you want, but don't be a burden to others. Right?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Then as
yeah.
to the timeline thing, like whether you
Yeah.
have to put a hard stop. I mean, if you reach a point whereby you cannot feed yourself, then obviously I think perhaps that's a
No, but because
indicator.
let's say the parents,
Yeah.
you know, not very rich, okay, they are median income, but they're very supportive. They are very loving parents, and then they just keep giving you money, right? And then you're okay with taking the money. Do
So
you think that's
the issue of like the values that you have. Yeah, it's like I cannot do that. Yeah, if I don't even have the money in my bank account to pay for what my phone bills and everything, and have to live off my parents, they have to pay for me. I cannot do that. Yeah, if I reach that point, I'll go out and work, and I'll stop the.
But what if you see a very big potential in whatever you're doing? It's just not happening now. But you think that in 2 to 3 years' time, it could give your parents a very comfortable life, right? But now it's like, yeah, it's really not paying the bills. Would you persist?
But that will also you have to see the context also lah. Like how long have you been on this really? Because I don't know, you can have very unrealistic expectations also. You may be thinking, oh, in 2 years' time it is going to happen, it's going to make it big. But that could be unrealistic. So it also depends on the context. Perhaps you have already been working on this for very long and you still don't see that progress or that milestones. Yeah. So it depends on the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically work hard lah, but don't burden other people, right? Be responsible for your own money.
Yeah, I
That's what
think you
you're
should be
saying.
responsible for your own finances.
Okay. Okay, so that's the end of our episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you, Dr. Wealth and the Joyful Investors for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Okay, till next time. Bye bye.